The madam holds a party for her, and this one proves to be her best in years.
Seems like an awful lot of fuss for nothing.
Please move quickly. We don't have much time. Miss Corey will be arriving on the 5:15.
Well, I don't know why anyone reads them mysteries anyway. Anyone with half a brain knows who the killer is before they even open the book.
Oh, and how do they know that?
Well, the butler did it, of course.
Oh, my.
No, I don't mean you, of course. I mean all them other butlers.
I can assure you, Sarah, butlers are the most tedious, dependable chaps you'll ever hope to meet.
Well, there must be some reason why they keep bumping people off in their books.
It's the prerogative of the writer, I suppose. Who better to cast as the culprit than the person you least suspect?
So who would you do it?
I beg your pardon?
Well, if you were to say, slit someone's throat, who would it be?
Why, no one, of course.
Oh, I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
I have no interest in whom you do with, fictionally or otherwise.
It's Gran.
What? Our dear lady's mother?
Yeah.
But why?
Oh, she just seems so lonely, you know. Wandering around these drafty halls. Her husband gone, her son gone.
And your mind going...
Yes, you see mine.
Yes, I suppose I do.
So you tell me yours.
I'm not going to tell you whom I'll do away with.
Oh, go on. There must be someone.
No. Step aside, please.
Well, not until you tell me.
Oh, for heaven's sake, fine. It's Trevor Barstow.
The neighbour?
Yes. Now will you please move out of my way?
Why would you want to kill him?
You didn't say I had to give you a reason.
Why, no, but blimey, Trevor Barstow?
Well, if you must know, I just don't trust the lad. He's always sneaking around doorways and peering in keyholes as if he were trying to catch us out for something. Why, I wouldn't be surprised if you were listing him right now.
Go on.
And I dare say he's changed up beloved Catherine. She used to be so young and carefree, but with him hanging about, the sunlight seems to have dimmed. Why, if I ever caught myself alone with that brute, I would...
You would what, Jenkins? Sarah?
You know, it was considered once upon a time rude, you thought.
Yes, and at one time it was considered rude to plot the murder of your neighbour.
Shall I announce you to the Colonel, Master Trevor?
No need to bother. It's Cat I've come to see.
I'm sorry, Miss Catherine is not at home.
Oh? Where is she?
Someplace else.
Don't tell me she's at the airfield again.
All right, I won't tell you.
I can't understand why any woman would want to go flying about in one of those blasted contraptions. It's so unladylike.
Not necessarily, sir. I understand Miss Catherine flies side saddle.
You're mocking me, sir.
Yes, sir. So, stop it. Shall I announce you? Shall I call you Miss Catherine arrives?
No, I'll wait.
Very good, sir. I'll be in the kitchen.
Be a good man and put on some coffee, won't you?
Coffee?
It's the only thing I drink. You should know that, Jenkins.
I thought it was merely a case of temporary insanity.
Afraid not, old boy. America may be a cultural wasteland, but they do two things right. They build automobiles that don't fall apart, and they brew beverages that don't put you to sleep.
Very good, sir. I shall put the percolator on.
Sarah.
Master Trevor!
Come on, Sarah, girl. Give me a kiss.
Not until you tell me what's going on between you and Miss Catherine.
That skinny old thing. Why would I want to pick at a bone when I can have the whole cow?
Then why was you asking afterwards?
I gotta make it look good, don't I? Imagine the scandal it would cause if the Colonel knew I was romantically involved with a servant.
Yeah, I suppose it would raise quite a stink.
Now, come on, one little
Alright, well, then you gotta go. The Colonel will be down any minute. Stand back, you royal Dutchman!
What?
Oh, by God, don't tell me you're afeard of a little old lady.
Of course I'm afeard. She's got a gun.
Oh, she can't do any harm. See? No bullets.
Well, what's the matter with her?
She thinks she's still fighting the war.
We didn't fight the Dutch in the Great War.
Not the Great War, the Boer War, silly.
What would possibly make her think I'm a Boer?
I haven't the faintest idea. Come on, Gran, let's go have a nice long nap. Or Trevor,
Yes, dear.
you don't know anything about dumbwaiters?
Only that I would never tip one.
No, not that. I mean the one in the kitchen. The door's stuck.
Can't you call in a repairman? I'm afraid I'm all thumbs when it comes to mechanical things.
Yeah, leaving a thumb's useful part of the time. Come on, Gran.
I'm sorry, sir, but it appears we're all out of coffee. Would you like some tea?
No, you imbecile! I'm a blasted man! Are you drunk?
No, just terribly clumsy.
Just stand there. Give me a towel.
I'm sorry, all of our towels are in the laundry. But I'm sure you can find some towels in your own home.
Never mind. I'll just use the one in the loo.
Some people just can't take a hint.
Are you sure you can handle the stream, darling? This is the first time you've been out of bed in weeks.
I don't care. Edwina will be here any moment now, and I'm going to make sure everything's right. Oh, what for the draft? Is there a window open?
Not one window, darling. All the windows.
Oh, whatever for? It's pouring rain out there.
There's one thing I learned in the army, dear. There's nothing quite so invigorating as a March breeze.
You served in the Sudan.
I wasn't in northern part.
Colonel, I'm so glad
Now,
to hear.
Jenkins, could you go round and shut all the windows?
Yes, of course, but first, sir.
Jenkins, straight away. The missus is getting a chill.
Yes,
What do you think of the decorations, dear?
I don't know. I'm not sure it sets the proper tone.
What do you mean?
Well, Edwina is a mystery novelist after all. I just thought we'd scatter a few bloody weapons about the place. Perhaps a dead body or two.
You do have a morbid sense of humour.
Well, I do hope she'll be naked.
For this deluge, I'll be surprised if we're not all washed away.
She's had such a difficult time of it lately. What with the last 3 books not selling well at all. And now this latest one, it seems she has regained her muse.
It was a ripping yarn, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. And the critics say it's as though she was a different writer.
Oh, really? Which one?
Oh, it's an expression, darling.
Ah, so it is. So it is.
Say, that dreadful Trevor hasn't stopped by here today, has he? I worry he will spoil our festivities.
Don't know why you're so hard on the chap. He doesn't seem like such a bad fellow.
Bad? Why, down in the village they say that he's ruined more than one unsuspecting lass. And now I'm afraid he has his designs on our cat.
Fluffy, you mean?
No, not our pet Kitty. Our daughter Catherine.
Thank goodness. I was wondering where we got wedding dress that small. Not to mention that Fluffy's a boy.
Oh, do stay on the subject.
What are we talking about?
Master Trevor.
Ah, yes, yes. Well, You've always respected Evelyn's opinion. Why don't you ask her what she thinks?
Well, I did. I wrote to her about a month ago about Trevor's wretched behaviour.
What did she say?
She said, a lot of fine people drink coffee.
You know, Kat is getting on in years.
Yes, indeed. 33, in fact.
She might not have many courting days left.
Yes, I know. But couldn't we find a better prospect than Trevor Barstow? I mean, you'd think the gentleman banging down our door. What with the vast fortune she stands to inherit?
Well, let's keep that to ourselves, darling. The last thing we want is young men attracted to our daughters simply because of their wealth.
Better to marry for wealth than not at all, I say.
Well, that's what makes Trevor such a good prospect. He's already rich.
I don't care how much money he has. I don't want him skulking about the house.
Very well. I'll keep him away.
How did I find such a wonderful husband?
Don't you remember? Our parents arranged it. I see. Are you going back to bed?
Yes, dear. I don't think I can stand on my own 2 feet any longer.
Why don't you try standing on mine for a while?
You are a dear.
Trevor! I didn't know you were here.
Jenkins let me in.
He didn't tell me.
Yes, well, so hard to get good help these days.
Yes, well, anyway, I do have something to ask you.
Wonderful, because I've got something to ask you.
Very well, go ahead.
No, you go first.
Okay. Would you mind going
Let's have
home?
in marriage.
You want to marry our cat?
Yes, but you just asked me to...
Our daughter, Miss Catherine.
Well, yes, if she'll have me.
Son!
What was that you said about wanting me to leave?
Oh, don't worry about that. That's just the missus talk. Don't worry, I've got her wrapped around my waist.
Really?
Oh yes. Problem is, she's got me wrapped around her big finger. I say so. We don't need our chimney swept today.
Mother, it's me, Kat.
Cat who?
Your daughter, Catherine.
Oh, Cat. So good to see you again.
You saw me at breakfast, Father.
That was you. I thought it was the stable boy.
How are you, Kat?
I've been better.
I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you can leave.
Cat!
That's quite all right. Kat and I, we're great kidders.
I'm not kidding.
Cat's busy preparing for a round-the-world trip.
Oh, really?
I don't see the sense in it myself, because after all, you always end up back where you started.
I've already explained it to you, Father. I want to be the first woman to fly around the world. I want to get my name in all the history books. Most of all, give it to that irritating Earhart woman.
She does have one small advantage.
What's that?
An aeroplane.
I have an aeroplane, Father. I just haven't got it off the ground yet.
Oh? What's the matter with it?
Well, the propeller's cracked, the rudder's broken, the engine does tend to burst into flames, but other than that, it's ready to go.
Kat, I know that flying is important to you.
The most important thing in the world.
Have you ever thought about settling down?
What? Me with a baby? I wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Oh, don't worry about that. I've heard nowadays all you need is the number of a good nanny.
Oh no, I won't be settling down for a long time. There's too much flying I want to do.
Don't you think it's dangerous?
That's what I love about it, Trevor, the danger. There's no sight so grand as the clouds whipping past your windows, no sensation so thrilling as that rush of air beneath your wings.
In the hypothetical sense, of course.
Kat,
Trevor, would you mind stepping out of the room for a minute? There's something I need to discuss with my daughter.
Father?
Certainly, sir.
You've always been like a daughter to me.
I am your daughter.
Exactly. And I would never do anything to upset your happiness.
Well, I should hope not.
Now, what would you say if I told you that a young man had asked for your hand in marriage?
My hand?
I'm assuming he'll take the rest of you as well.
Who is it?
Trevor.
Trevor? But the very sight of him makes me ill.
Oh, don't worry about that. You can get pills for that nowadays.
Father,
Listen to me, Kat. I know he's not the most reputable man, but he does come from a good family.
If by good you mean wealthy.
Of course I mean wealthy. Nothing so good as a few crowns in the bank, I always say.
Yes, but to be shackled for a lifetime to a man that I don't
I
love.
didn't want to tell you this, Cat. There's something about Trevor that may change your mind.
Nothing but the threat of complete and imminent disaster could persuade me to marry him.
Ah, so you know already?
What?
We're about to lose the manor.
The manor? But why? What happened to our fortune?
I lost it. I lost it all in that blasted copper mine.
Father, I told you there was no copper in Antarctica.
How was I supposed to know what was under all that snow?
Well, if it's money you need, I'd be willing to sell my airplane.
Oh, Cat. I couldn't let you do that. Besides, you'd barely get half a crown for it.
But
I'm sorry, Cat, but the only way for us to save the estate is for you to marry Trevor.
well, what about Mother?
She's already married.
I mean, how will she react when she finds out?
Oh, we'll have to have a private ceremony. A very private ceremony.
All right, bring him in.
I knew I could count on you. Trevor! Trevor, come here, boy.
Sir?
My daughter's ready for you.
You mean...
I'll leave you two upwards alone.
Catherine? You know how much you mean to me.
Oh, cut to the chase, Trevor. I need to take a shower.
Oh, well, will you marry me?
If I must.
Hallelujah! I'm so happy for you both.
Where's the ring?
Ring?
Yes, you know, the symbol of your everlasting devotion.
Oh, don't worry about that. That's just a worthless piece of metal. You've got one of these on the airstrip already. Go on, give her a kiss. Wow, seems like our group party's turned into an engagement party.
Well then, yes, I'd better freshen up.
And the WC's that way. Good boy. So easily confused.
Well, I suppose I ought to take a shower.
Good idea. I'll go up, down to the wine cellar and get some wine.
Make it a cheap one.
Would you like me to select the wine, sir?
No, I'll do it. After all, how many times does a man get to celebrate the engagement of his daughter?
In this case, hopefully twice. Father Timothy, come in.
Jenkins, well, you're looking rather lugubrious today.
Why, thank you, Father. Would you like me to take your coat?
Oh, no, I don't think I could afford another one.
I wasn't expecting you until Thursday.
Yes, well, I finished my visitations early this week, so I thought I'd pop in today.
Well, I dare say Graham would be delighted to see you. Are you coming?
When?
To see Graham, you know, for your weekly visitation?
What, right away?
Well, yes, that's how we've usually done things.
Yes, well, I wouldn't want to bother her, you know, just in case she's sleeping or something.
No, she is not sleeping.
Or something.
Pardon my forwardness, Father, but it seems as though you don't want to see Graham.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's just that I so rarely have the chance to just sit and rest.
Yes, I suppose you are kept rather busy.
Oh, not that I'm complaining, of course.
Of course.
You know, a priest should never complain about his work. It is the Lord's work after all.
So I've heard.
But then again, my feet are made of steel.
Perhaps that's a good thing. It will make putting your shoes on rather difficult.
Pardon?
I said perhaps that's a good thing. No, forget it.
Oh, yes, I see. Yes, that's a good one.
You seem rather distracted today, Father.
Distracted?
Yes, you're looking about as if you're expecting someone.
Am I? Who would I be expecting?
I haven't got the slightest idea. I see you have a book with you.
Pardon?
That book under your arm. What is that?
Oh, why, how did this get there?
How indeed.
I must have picked it up at my last visitation and forgot to set it down.
Is that in Edwina Corrie?
Who?
Edwina Corrie, the mystery author.
Why, yes it is.
Of course.
Are you a clairvoyant or something?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's an awfully good piece of detective work then.
You know, Miss Coy is going to be our guest.
Oh, is she?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we're expecting her to arrive any moment now.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of imposing on your little get-together.
You haven't even been invited.
Oh, so I haven't. So I haven't.
Would you like me to speak to the Colonel about it?
Oh, yes, of course. She's my favorite author, you know.
I never would have guessed. As a matter of fact, there is a delicate moment I'd like to touch upon with you.
Yes, what is it, Jenkins?
Do you know this Trevor fellow who's been hanging about the manor?
Trevor Barstow.
That's the one.
Oh, yes, I know him well. Delightful fellow.
You like him?
I have a fondness for all my parishioners, though I haven't seen him much in church lately.
Oh no?
No, but then half my flock seem to have trouble making it to Mass. Why, even you yourself, Jenkins, seems to be quite a rarity between the pews lately.
Yes, well, you nowadays being a Hindu Catholic butler. Anyone's own, you know.
I was under the assumption the Colonel gave you Sunday mornings off.
Yes, well, that is the one time I have to myself, and I have so many things. I'm sorry, was there something I said?
Oh, you don't have to be so defensive, Jenkins. I was only having a little bit of fun.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you have no idea what that line of questioning does to people. Why, half the time I don't even know if it's true or not.
Father Timothy.
Why, just the other day, old Mrs. Cartwright nearly lost her bloomers when I asked her what she was doing coming out of Roger Townsend's house last Tuesday evening.
Father Timothy.
Yes.
We're talking about Master Barstow?
Were we?
Yes.
What were we saying?
Well, nothing yet.
Oh, we better get on with it then.
Yes, well, as it turns out, Master Trevor will soon be spending a lot more time about the manor.
Oh, fixing that roof, is he?
No, he's marrying Miss Catherine.
Miss who?
You know, my mistress.
Oh, I had no idea you kept a mistress, Jenkins.
Not that type of mistress, I mean a lady who orders me about the house.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Oh, for a moment I thought this was going to be a confessional.
Father,
Yes.
Master Barstow?
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm sure he'll make Miss Catherine a fine uncle.
Husband,
Yes, whatever.
his reputation in the village is rather unsavory.
Yes, well, if we were all going to go on reputations, we'd all be in a fine kettle of fish, wouldn't we?
Would we?
Yes. Why, the word around the village is that I can't preach a sermon. That I go round and round a subject, talking about the weather and my prize delphiniums. And that embarrassing itch my little corgi suffers every April. Why, then I can't even. I say, what were we talking about?
I was just asking if you'd like some tea.
Oh, that would be most delightful, Jenkins, thank you.
Ah, Timothy. I didn't know you were here.
Yes, well, I have to be somewhere, haven't I?
Indeed. Still, it's a pity you can't stay.
Oh, of course I can stay. In fact, I've cleared my entire schedule just in case you need any ecclesiastical assistance.
Not you, Father. It's Miranda and I. We're expecting a very special guest.
Oh, is it anyone I know?
No. In fact, I think you'd find her quite tedious.
Jenkins told me that Miss Edwina Corrie is coming to dinner.
Oh, he did he?
Yes. You know, I have read every single one of her novels, simply devoured them.
Well, that's good. Do you want a very room for dinner? Yes, Father.
I'm beginning to think that you don't want me here.
Why, to give you that idea.
Father Timothy! I thought I heard your voice.
Dear, you should be lying down.
Oh, Lady Miranda, oh, you're looking lovelier than ever.
Oh, thank you, Father Timothy. Would you like to stay for dinner?
Oh, only if it wouldn't be an imposition.
Oh, don't be silly. It would be an imposition. I'll just get Jenkins to set another place at the table. Jenkins! I say Jenkins!
Oh, don't trouble yourself, Lady Miranda, I'll fetch him.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes, you've got to prepare for your famous guest.
You had to invite him.
Of course I had to invite him. We need someone to bless the meal.
The time he's finished talking, the food won't be fit to eat.
I think I'm going to be ill.
I know Sarah's not the best cook in the world, but...
No, it's not that. Trevor has been murdered.
Trevor Barstow!
He's been stabbed.
What's he doing here?
Reading apparently.
Oh, all over my new tile.
All over your new tile. Over the kitchen cabinets.
Oh, no.
Then the icebox.
I say, Father, you could have found a more convenient place to be killed.
I say, it's a good thing I found Graham's antique dishes. It's all we've got left.
I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
Why not?
Trevor Barstow has been murdered. I wish you wouldn't do that.
What is with all this screaming?
Oh, Miss Catherine, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Oh dear, what is it now?
Oh, your fiancé is dead.
Thank heavens! I thought it was something serious.
No, I mean it. He's been stabbed.
Really? Where?
Well, just about here.
I meant in which room?
In the kitchen.
I've got to see this.
Oh! Now I know I'm going to be ill.
Hello? Anyone here? Miranda? Jenkins? Anyone? What a bother. You send a telegram saying you're arriving on the 5:15. You expect some sort of welcome. Well, I hope they have a good excuse.
Don't go back there, you vile Dutchman!
What's going on here? Hi, Lena. So good to see you. Let me help you with your bags.
You can take that.
Oh, don't worry about that. I don't allow any bullets in the house.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Graham, you naughty thing. Where did you get those bullets?
Let go, you dirty boar!
I'm not a boy. I'm Nigel, your son-in-law.
Give it back!
Not on your life.
Oh, well, this has been a long, exciting day for you, hasn't it, Graham? Let's go back upstairs for a nice long nap. Maybe a story? Yeah? Would you like a story, Graham?
I say, Miranda, that mother of yours gets loonier by the day.
Oh, Edwina, what horrible hosts must think we are.
Well, it's not exactly the welcome I was expecting, but if I get to see you, then it's all worth it.
I'm afraid it gets worse.
Quite so. You see, your neighbour is dead.
Oh, that's a pity. Well, you run along and pay your respects, and I'll entertain myself here.
Oh no, you see, it only just happened.
3 minutes ago.
In our kitchen.
Someone's been murdered.
Unless Trevor Barstow stabbed himself with a knife.
We must call the police.
What, the police here?
Well, of course, they're going to want to investigate.
What would the neighbours think?
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that, dear. You've one fewer of them now.
Cat, did you telephone the police?
Certainly. Give me the police at once. Thank you. Hello, Sergeant. This is Catherine Covington. Barnsley Manor, yes. Well, I'm afraid I've got some dreadful news. You see, Trevor Barstow was murdered in our kitchen. Just a few minutes ago. No, we have no idea who did it. What? Really? Well, that is distressing. Yes, I'll tell them. Thank you.
long till we'll be here?
Not for at least an hour. The bridge is out.
What? The bridge between here and the village?
Yes.
Why, that's impossible. I came across it not 15 minutes ago.
It's only just happened. It seems there's been quite a lot of flooding.
Well, then it looks as if we'll have to investigate this case ourselves.
None of us is qualified to conduct a murder investigation.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Miss Catherine, but we have the world's greatest mystery author here.
I think there's a bit of a difference between a trained detective and a writer of fiction.
I take it you don't respect my works?
Oh, no, I respect them. But as entertainment, you know, they're not real like an aircraft engine or the rain outside. They're made up.
Which is why Miss Corrie is more suited to solve this kind of puzzle. As a fiction writer, she can imagine the myriads of possibilities surrounding this case.
Oh, please, Father.
I didn't say anything.
I was talking to the other father.
All right, very well. Okay, well, everyone in favour of Miss Corrie taking over the investigation, raise your hands. Those against? Very well. 3-1.
You forgot to count yourself, Colonel.
Sorry. 5-1.
Very well then, I'll investigate the scene of the crime immediately.
Would you like an escort, Edwina? It's a bit of a mess out there.
Oh no, I'm not squeamish if that's what you mean.
Well, that's good, because I am.
Oh, Colonel,
Yes.
can you check the windows of the rest of the house? I want to see if there's been any forced entry.
I'll do it immediately. Jenkins! Jenkins, I need you!
Oh dear, Father. Looks like you're going to have to check the windows yourself.
Now, why should I have to do it?
I was speaking to him.
I see. Where is Jenkins?
I don't know. He was supposed to be getting the tea.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the kitchen.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I'll check the windows.
Jenkins! I see, Jenkins!
Yes, sir.
Where were you, man?
I'm sorry, sir. I was just taking care of a few things.
Then you don't know.
No, what, Father?
I'm not your father.
I was talking to him.
Trevor Barstow has been murdered.
He's been stabbed.
With a knife.
That is a pity.
I see, Jenkins. You don't seem too disturbed by it.
Of course I'm upset. I'm just not very, very surprised. After all, it was only a matter of time before somebody did that blackberry.
I say, Jenkins, what's that you've got there? What's that you're hiding behind your back?
My back?
Let's see it, Jenkins.
He's wearing a bandage.
What did you do to yourself, Jenkins?
Well, this is a nasty piece of business.
Miss Corrie, I had no idea you were here.
Well, hello, Jenkins, and how is the world's greatest butler?
Very well, madam. Very well. Shall I take your bags to the room?
Yes, please.
I say, what did you find, Miss Corrie?
A bloody mess, that's what I found. Oh, so Jenkins,
Miss Corrie, I'm sorry.
it's nothing, I assure you.
I don't know what's come over me. I'm not usually this clumsy.
Don't you worry about me. We Corries come from hearty stock, you know.
I shall get your room ready now.
Thank you.
You know, that's rather odd.
I know. I don't think I've ever seen him so skittish. I say, Father, I don't see the humour.
No, I was just thinking, what if the butler really did do it?
Now let's not jump to conclusions. If we're going to investigate this murder, we need to take it slowly and methodically. We need to examine the evidence and interrogate the suspects.
Oh, how exciting. Who would have thought we'd all be involved in a real-life mystery?
I think you'll find that real-life mysteries are not nearly as glamorous as their fictional counterparts.
Well, that's it then. None of the windows are being disturbed.
What about the locks?
They're all latched as tight as the Tower of London.
Well, that is troubling.
What do you mean?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? The murderer is still in the house.
Oh, do you must get rid of him.
I'll do it straight away, dear. Jenkins! Jenkins!
No, I don't think you understand. The murderer must be one of you.
One of us?
That's impossible.
Is it?
Well, I didn't do it.
Well, excuse me, Nigel. I hope you don't think that I did it.
Not at all, dear. You're much too sickly.
Oh, you said the sweetest thing.
What about you, Father? Did you do the poor chap in?
Certainly not. I think I would have remembered something like that.
All right, blame the rain. What, you think just because I know my favourite
Now it's obvious one of you has done it. We just need to work out who it is.
But we don't have everyone here.
Well, that's right, Gram's upstairs.
I can assure you, Sarah, that Gran wouldn't have it in her to stab anybody.
Quite right, Miranda. She'd probably blow their heads off.
Well, we need to bring her down.
Do you have to?
Why? What's the matter?
It's just so balmy.
I don't think she can answer any of your questions.
Very well, we'll speak to her later if we need to.
What about Jenkins?
Oh, please. He didn't do it.
Well, how can you be so sure?
I've known him since I was a child. He just couldn't have done it.
He's certainly taking his time with the bags.
Perhaps he's fled.
That's right. I bet at this very moment the bloodthirsty maniac is fleeing over the barren moors.
Your room is ready, madam.
You were saying?
Take a seat, Jane. We're about to begin the investigation.
If it's all the same to you, Miss Kite, I prefer to stand. It does not seem right for me to sit in the presence of my employers.
As you wish. Now, before we begin, I want to emphasize the importance of this investigation. While I'm not an officer of the law, I will do my very best to uphold the standards of justice.
Yes, yes.
Now, a few moments ago, a handsome young lad was,
Well, he wasn't so young.
He wasn't so handsome.
all right, a lad was cut down in the prime of his life. Now, all evidence points to one of you having done it. So my first task was to determine where each of you were at the time of the murder. Now, this process can only be productive if you are all completely honest. Only the murderer need fear the cold, bright light of truth.
Oh, do get on with it.
Yes, it's almost time for cocktails.
Do you know what weapon Master Basta was killed with?
Most definitely. It appears he was stabbed with a paring knife.
Aha! That proves it wasn't me.
Well, why do you say that?
I don't even know what paring knife is.
How can you be sure it was a paring knife?
From the length and the depth of the wound.
What did you do? Did you stick your finger in it?
Of course not. I relied on the twin powers of observation and deduction. For a knife in the back to kill someone, it must descend at the aorta, and that's a good 3 or 4 inches deep. But the wound itself was only half an inch long. Hence, we must be dealing with a paring knife.
Oh, please. Now you're just showing off. This doesn't help us solve anything.
Don't be so sure, my dear. It's not easy to drive a paring knife with teeth. The murderer must be very strong.
Excuse me, my malaria is playing up.
Oh, malaria! Why, there's nothing. I still haven't gotten over the great flu epidemic of 1919.
Oh, please, gentlemen, this is not the time to be going about inventing alibis. We still need to work out what each of you were.
I'll try.
Now, who discovered the body?
Oh, that's an interesting story, Miss Corrie. You see, the Colonel and I were standing right over there, or maybe it was...
Father Timothy found the body.
Well, what were you doing in the kitchen, Father?
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you, Miss Corrie. You see, the Colonel and I were just...
They went to find to get the tea.
Jenkins? Odd.
If I may, Miss Corrie. I'd gone to go look for Jenkins. He'd gone to make the tea. But then he just disappeared.
Well, that's very odd.
If I may be allowed to explain, Miss Corrie.
Hold on, Jenkins. We'll get to you in a moment. Now, what happened next?
Well, I went into the kitchen to look for Jenkins. At first, I didn't see the body. But then as I came around the table, I saw Master Barstow sprawled on the floor, his body and clothes just soaked in blood.
Was he still alive?
That's a ridiculous question. Father Timothy isn't a coroner.
Miss Catherine, I'll have you know that as a man of the cloth, I have witnessed more than my fair share of tormented souls cross to the other side.
Yes, the sermons usually see off a few.
Oh. Ow!
Please answer the question, Father.
He was most definitely dead.
Now, do you remember what time it was?
Well, I can't say I was most concerned with the time of the day at that point.
5:29.
Well, excuse me, dear, but how would you know? You hadn't come downstairs yet.
Well, that's when I heard the first scream.
Very well then, we'll make it 5:29. Now, who was the last to see Trevor alive?
Well, that'd be Cat and I. We were having a chat with him right here in the drawing room.
Not quite, Father.
Why not?
Don't you remember? Trevor followed Sarah into the kitchen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on, Sarah, I saw you. You ran into the kitchen, and Trevor practically broke down the door going after you.
Yes, Sarah. Tell us the truth now.
It wasn't me! It was Jenkins! He told me he wanted to kill Trevor!
Well, you met me. No, you don't understand, see? Sarah and I were just having a simple conversation about Butler, and they always kill people. In books, I mean. And then she asked whom I do away with. And I said, this is a damn thing, is it?
No.
Oh, please. Anyone could make such a threat.
Not anyone did make the threat. Jenkins did.
I agree with Kat. Let's give Jenkins the benefit of the doubt. At least until we've established the facts of the case.
Thank you, madam.
Now, Sarah, is it true that Trevor followed you into the kitchen?
Well, no, ma'am, I wasn't in the kitchen very long. I had work to do in the dining room.
And what were you doing in there?
Well, setting the table.
But I had already said it.
Well, I set it again.
Did anybody see you setting the table?
Why, should I not? It's a good mate's job to be neither seen nor heard, isn't it?
If only.
So, what time did Trevor go into the kitchen?
Why, I don't know, ma'am.
It was 5:20.
Why, you're a quite clock checker.
I'm a trained pilot. I live by my instruments.
Can you tell me the time now?
Certainly, it's 5:46.
Oh, on the dot.
Has she got a clock in her noggin?
All right, then it appears that Trevor was murdered sometime between 5:20 and 5:29.
So it appears.
Now, Colonel,
Yes.
you were here in the drawing room all that time,
No, I went down to the cellar to get some wine.
but isn't that Jenkins' job?
Yes, but this was a special occasion.
Oh, really? What occasion was that?
Cat and Trevor were about to announce their,
Announce their what, dear?
their shared love of anthropology. Anthropology, that was it.
Anthropology?
We were going to announce our engagement, Mother.
Oh, that was it.
What? I thought you detested the lad.
33 years old, Mother. I've got to get married at some time.
Why couldn't you marry that handsome barrister from Carlisle? He was rather keen on you.
He's already married, Mother.
Oh well, nobody's perfect.
So, Kat, you were upstairs taking a shower, Adam.
You're quite the detective.
It's a rather odd time to be cleaning up, don't you think?
I've been working on my airplane. I was cold, wet, and covered in grease.
Sounds like Sarah's pot roast.
Did anybody see you?
No, I prefer to shower alone.
I meant...
I know what you meant.
So what brought you downstairs?
I heard a scream, remember?
And do you know whose scream it was?
Oh, yes, it had to be my mother's.
So what about you, Miranda?
Edwina, certainly you don't think that I...
I'm sorry, Miranda, but I must question everyone.
Yes, Mother, you can't expect special treatment just because you're old schoolmates.
Very well. I never saw Trevor. I didn't know he was in the house until I heard Father Timothy say he was dead.
So where were you at the time of the murder?
I was upstairs resting.
Did anybody see you?
No, really, Edwina.
Just answer the question, Miranda.
I'm sure Kat saw me when she passed by my bed.
Well, Catherine, did you happen to see your mother lying down?
Yes.
So why did you come downstairs?
Well, I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning and decided that I should come downstairs to see if you had arrived. And that's when I saw Nigel speaking with Father Timothy.
So you didn't see anything peculiar?
No. Father Timothy always looks like that.
So it comes to you.
Yes, madam.
And where were you at 5:20?
I was here in the drawing room. Master Barstow had just passed past me when the doorbell rang. Wait a moment. I spoke a few words to the colonel and then
You don't seem very certain.
I just need to think about it one moment.
Who was at the door?
It was Father Timothy. We spoke for quite a while.
What about?
To tell you the truth, it's all a blur to me now.
Did you go into the kitchen at all?
Oh, yes. After Father Timothy and I spoke, I went to get the tea.
And did you see Trevor then?
Most certainly not. I have no idea where the gentleman was.
Ask him why he was gone so long.
Let me conduct the investigation, Father.
I am sure it wasn't more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, it was at least 10.
What happened to you, Jenkins?
Yeah, where did you run off to?
Really, people, I must ask you.
I went to my room to get a bandage. I cut myself while slicing a lemon.
With a paring knife?
No, I couldn't find a paring knife, so I used a bread knife. That's why I cut myself.
I noticed you changed your tailcoat and vest, Jenkins.
Has he?
Quite right. I got some blood on myself when I cut myself.
Oh, really?
So where are your clothes now?
I've got them soaking in the tub. You've got to attack the stage right away, you know.
How very convenient for you.
Oh, please. If he were really the murderer, he wouldn't admit to any of this.
I noticed that your right-handed bandage, Jenkins.
Yes, madam. I'm afraid I'm left-handed. My school teachers always tried to break me off the habit, but I guess I was too stubborn.
The killer was left-handed.
How do you know that?
The wound was angled from the right. Only a left-handed attacker would do that.
Well, perhaps the murderer switched the weapon to his weak hand, you know, to throw off the scent.
I'm afraid that's impossible, Miss Catherine. The wound was too deep to have been made with someone's weak hand.
That proves it wasn't me. I'm not left-handed.
Well, neither am I.
Nor I.
Oh, my left hand doesn't even know what my right hand is doing.
What about you, Sarah? Are you left-handed?
Do I look like one of them deviants?
And so the unwavering eye of truth falls once again on Jenkins.
But we still don't have the murder weapon.
Well, perhaps he disposed of it.
Quite right. Now, where would be a good place to dispose of the weapon?
Oh, I know. In a volcano.
Let's keep thinking.
What about the dustbin?
Quite possible, but I already checked. There's no knife in the dustbin.
Perhaps he kept it on him.
Only an imbecile would keep the knife on himself.
Unless, of course, he didn't have time to get rid of it.
because someone was approaching.
Precisely.
Oh my word.
All right, everyone, turn out your pockets.
What?
You had that. Turn out your pockets.
I need to see if anyone has the knife.
Nothing here.
Ah, so that's where you got to.
Big surprise.
I don't even have any pockets.
Sarah?
Not a crumb.
I say, Jenkins, what's that you got there in your pocket?
Pardon?
I'm sure I saw something in that pocket.
Let's see it, man.
Oh, Jenkins, how could you?
I told you he did it.
But I didn't.
Oh, dear. What shall we do with him?
I say we thrash him.
Oh dear.
No, we don't want to hurt him. We just want to prevent him from getting away.
I've got some glue
Do you have any rope?
in the shed,
I'll get it.
next to the glue.
I say, what is that horrible smell?
Something must be burning.
Oh, the button! We're not actually going to eat, are we?
Why wouldn't we?
But this is a dead body in the kitchen!
That's more for the rest of us.
Here it is.
All right, now put him in the chair.
Not that way. You've got to do it clockwise. Something to do with the rotation of the earth or something.
I am doing it clockwise. You're going counterclockwise.
So I am.
Please, if you only listen to me.
We've listened to you enough, Jenkins.
Yes. Nothing you say can prove us off your innocence.
But I didn't do it.
Dinner is served.
Ah!
I must say, Jenkins, I knew your work was slipping, but we just can't have you killing our guests.
But I didn't kill him. I swear on my grandmother's grave.
She was probably a murderer too.
You thought you got away with it, didn't you? You thought you committed the perfect crime. But murder will out, Jenkins. Murder will out.
Oh, just shut up. Stop.
I can only imagine what this would do to our social state.
You really make that, don't you?
I did, Jenkins. I did.
Well, Jenkins, you really got yourself into a pickle this time. The police are on the way here, and you don't have much time to get yourself out. But how? Blast the door. Wait a moment. I've got an idea. Help! Help! Oh, for heaven's sake, help!
I say, Jenkins, is that you making all that racket?
Yes, sir.
We're going to have to stop. You're frightening our guests.
I'm sorry, sir, but the rope is too tight. I can't get any air.
Yeah? What do you need air for?
I've grown rather fond of breathing it, sir.
Very well. If I loosen this rope, you have to promise not to try and run away.
I wouldn't dream of it, sir.
Try that.
What? What was?
Sorry. How's that?
Now it is back to the way it was.
Oh, at least I didn't do any damage, eh?
No, sir.
I say, Jenkins, you're looking rather glum. Would you like a cup of tea or something?
Dear would tell me now.
Cheer up, old boy. Prison isn't such a bad place.
Oh no?
Well, just think about all the things you won't have to do. Like polishing your shoes, putting a crease in your pants. Just think of all the interesting people you're going to meet.
But they're going to hang me.
Oh, for goodness sake, Jenkins. You can't have everything. Oh, so that's where I left the wine.
That looks like the Chateau de Rothschild.
It is 1869.
That was a very good year.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't born then.
You know, I could have sworn that bottle was in the kitchen this morning.
Was it?
Oh yes, I'm sure of it. I brought it up last Friday for yours and Madam's anniversary. But she went to bed before I could open it.
Someone must have taken it back down to the wine cellar.
No one knows where the key is. No one but you and me.
Now I remember. I took it back after lunch or something like that.
Where's the key?
What?
The key for the wine cellar. Where do I keep it?
On the hook.
Right. And where's the key hook?
What are you implying, Jenkins?
Just that you were never in the wine cellar. You forgot where I kept the key, so you came upstairs to the kitchen to get the bottles out of there.
That's a lie. I never set foot in the kitchen.
Oh no?
No, I crawled in on my hands and knees.
Why would you do that?
Didn't want him to see me.
Then?
Now I've done it.
Then who?
Hi. Trevor and Sarah, of course. They were quarreling, so I sneaked inside.
But Sarah said she was never alone with Trevor.
Well, if it wasn't Sarah, someone's doing a very good impersonation of her. Not that you can make much money impersonating a maid.
Why did you let the story know?
Believe me, old boy, I wanted to. I would only have brought suspicion upon myself.
Do you know what they were quarreling about?
It was hard to make out. It seemed like Sarah was upset with Fluffy.
Fluffy?
Yes. She said, she gave Trevor an ultimatum. She said, it's either me or the cat, she said.
That cat? Do you mean Catherine, your daughter?
Oh, blast. I told Edwina not to call her that.
But why would Sarah be jealous of Cat?
We should have called her Gazelle, maybe.
Colonel!
Or maybe Badger, even.
Colonel!
Yes, Jenkins.
Is Sarah in love with Trevor?
I doubt it, old boy.
Why?
She hardly knew him.
You know, Colonel, I think I will take some of that tea.
Very well. I'll have it brought out to you. Jenkins! Jenkins! Oh, Jenkins, you're right up. I'll have Sarah bring it to you.
That would be preferable, sir. So our saucy little Sarah knows more than she let on. How long has she known Trevor? Were they in love with each other? Was she jealous enough to kill him? There's only one way to find out.
You watch yourself, you!
What in heaven's name is that for?
I'm on your little scheme. You plan to attack me as well.
And how do you propose I do that? By head-butting him to death?
I'm sure you've got it all planned out in that devious little mind of yours.
Look, all I want is a cup of tea.
Ah! So you're planning on scolding me then?
Fine, forget the tea.
You're not going to attack me?
No?
Well, blimey! I was set to give you a good thrashing.
I'm sorry to have disappointed you.
Oh, that's all right.
It must have hurt you very deeply.
What did?
When Trevor proposed to Cat and you.
Master Barstow means nothing to me.
Is that why you were quarreling in the kitchen?
You heard that?
Every tempestuous word.
He loves me, he did! Not her! Me!
What makes you so sure?
He told me he loved me.
I understand you know a lot of women then.
Oh, I know all about his reputation with the ladies, but I wasn't just anyone.
What do you mean?
Oh, I gotta go. The colonel wanted me.
Cat told me you barely knew each other.
That's a lie. We've known each other since we was 12.
Well?
Yeah. Well, that's when your mum became cook for Lady Barstow.
Yes, I remember you now. You grew up at Barstow House.
Well, yeah, we did everything together. Climbing trees, catching newts. Me and Trevor was the best of chums.
Then why did you leave?
I was that horrible Lady Barstow. She thought I wasn't good enough for Trevor. She thought we was getting too close, but she had me mum sacked.
That must have been very painful.
It was. She thought one of the neighbours would hire her, so she told them all that mum had stolen from her. We had to go all the way back to London to find work we did. Well, I vowed I'd come back.
Oh, so when the Colonel hired you,
Just like I had died and gone to heaven.
how did Trevor react?
Well, he seemed as happy as anyone.
Only seemed?
He was happy.
But Miss Catherine was the one he proposed to.
Why, because of her fortune. That's the way things always is, isn't it? Poor little rich girl gets the world handed to her, while the maid gets stuck washing the plate it comes on. But I got back at her, I did. Why, you should have seen her face when she walked in on us.
Cat was in the kitchen too?
Sarah, we need more wine.
I'm gonna go. Colonel's on me.
How long was she there for?
Well, I don't know. Trevor sent me out of the room.
But please, can you at least have Miss Catherine? I need to speak with her.
What for?
I've got something I've been meaning to give to her for a long time.
What is it?
It's a secret, sir, and I want to go get her.
Well, fine. Well, she doesn't know why you never gave me nothing.
So Captain Trevor were alone in the kitchen too. Could she have killed him? Seems almost impossible. Still, jealousy has turned simpler persons than her into murderers.
Sarah says you've got something for me.
Yes,
I don't want it.
But you don't even know what it is.
Doesn't matter. I don't accept gifts from murderers.
What if I told you it was from Trevor?
Trevor? Then why would you have it?
Perhaps he didn't trust himself with it.
All right, give it to me.
Not so fast. First you need to do something for me.
If you expect me to speak up for you at your trial,
No, not that. I simply wanted to know what happened between you and Trevor.
you were there, he proposed, and I accepted.
No, I mean later in the kitchen.
How do you know I was in the kitchen with Trevor?
This just says my job to know everything that happens in this household.
Well, then you know that nothing happened.
Nothing.
I came downstairs for a towel, I caught my fiancé kissing the maid, I went back upstairs.
I got the utmost admiration for you, Cat. A normal woman would have been tempted to kill him.
But I'm not a normal woman. I'm the daughter of a British Army colonel. I was raised to do my duty, and my duty was to marry a man that I don't love.
I don't believe that, neither do you.
Whatever can you mean?
It was clear you had feelings for Trevor. The way your eyes gleamed whenever his name was mentioned, the way he stood a little taller whenever he entered a room. Oh, you were in love with the Cat, yes. It was only your pride, your sense of independence that kept you from beating.
So, you really do know everything that happens in this household?
Everything except for what happened in the kitchen.
I told you, nothing happened.
You must have said something to each other.
What Trevor and I said to each other is no concern of yours.
How long were you there for?
Not long. I said what I had to say and I left.
Did Trevor go after you?
He tried.
What happened?
I locked the door behind me.
There's no lock on the kitchen door.
Not the kitchen door, the door at the top of the stairs.
You went up the servants' stairs?
Yes, why wouldn't I? It's the shortest route to my room.
Did you notice anything odd, a weird object out of place or a strange noise or anything?
No. Wait, yes. Just as I reached the top of the stairs, I heard a creaking sound in the kitchen below.
Was Trevor looking for something?
No, he was right behind me.
Then who was it?
I don't know. I assumed it was you.
Did you see anyone else on the way to your room?
No.
Your mother, Graham, or...
I said no.
That is odd.
What is?
You told Miss Corrie that you saw your mother lying in bed.
What? Oh, yes, my mother.
She wasn't in her room, was she?
Of course she was.
Please, Cat, we've known each other for too long.
All right, fine. She wasn't in her room. Is that a crime?
No, but lying to the authorities is.
Unfortunately, we haven't had any of those. Just a fiction writer who thinks she's Sherlock Holmes.
Then where was your mother?
You're the one who knows everything that happens in this household.
She might have lain down in the library. She often does that when she's too weary to climb the stairs.
Yes.
And that leads directly into the kitchen.
You sound dangerously like a detective.
Not a detective, just someone whose life depends on the truth.
But you're accusing Mother.
I'm not accusing anyone. I just wanted to know why Lady Miranda felt the need to lie.
Well, why don't you ask her?
I'm a little inconvenienced at the moment.
Cedric, you don't really have anything from Trevor, do you?
I'm sorry, Kat,
Oh, please, Jenkins, we've known each other too long.
So the plot thickens. Now it appears everyone had the ability to kill Trevor, even Lady Miranda. But she's so frail. How could she have found the strength to?
You may break those bonds, but you'll never break the bonds of sin.
I was hoping Lady Miranda would come.
Oh, she's indisposed at the moment. I'm sure you can understand, given the seriousness of the day's events.
Of course. I suppose you'll be writing the eulogy?
Whose eulogy? The one for Trevor or the one for you?
I'm not dead.
Not yet, you're not.
Must be difficult finding something flattering to say.
Really? There's good and evil in all of us. I mean, take you, for instance. Law-abiding citizen, dedicated servant, yet in the heat of passion, you found it all too easy to kill.
And what good would you find in Master Pastor?
You'd be surprised. He had the heart of a saint, you know.
Oh, really? Did he use a scalpel or just rip it out of him?
What? No! He could be most humble when he wanted to be. Why? He was grateful for every crumb I shared with him.
You gave him food?
Yes. I mean, no. I mean, you're confusing me.
Please, Father, I need to know.
Well, I can't tell you. It'd be breaking the solemn covenant between parishioner and clergy. Oh, all right. But you've got to promise not to breathe a word of this to anyone.
Of course.
No, and first, it's not his fault, really. It was a disease.
What was?
Gambling. He threw money around like it was water. Oh, although he never learned to battle it, it was always there.
So he's penniless?
Worse than penniless, he was up to his eyeballs in debt. It got so bad that the butcher and the greengrocer stopped delivering to the house because they never got paid.
So when he proposed to Kat,
He was trying to save his estate. I said, what's so funny?
Kat agreed to marry Trevor for the same reason.
What? You mean the colonel's also destitute?
Yes, and all that's left is the house here, and barely that.
Oh, what a wicked rug we weave.
I think it's a web.
What?
Web. Oh, what a wicked web we weave.
How do you weave a web?
I don't quite know actually.
Anyway, the poor boy was so desperate that he started selling my books.
You stole from
Oh,
your
no. I loaned them to him fair and square. But there were a couple of volumes that he never returned. I suspected he sold them.
You couldn't have gotten much for them.
Yes, well, perhaps they held sentimental values to someone.
What were their titles?
Oh, look, I can't remember. Some obscure murder mysteries. About 30 to 40 years old, if I recall correctly.
Interesting.
Well, I better get back then.
I'd like to speak to the madam.
Look, I don't know when this will be because she seemed quite ill.
Then perhaps a note.
A note?
Yes, I've got some things I want to tell her. You know, before they take me away.
Oh, yeah, yes, of course. Now, how would you like me to address this?
Dearest madam, you're left-handed.
What? Oh, no, I'm not.
Yes, you started to write with your left hand.
I just forgot.
How the hell do you forget which hand you write with?
Look, that had a lot of my mind lately.
Father! I never suspected this. Then again, maybe I should have thought about it earlier. After all, he was the one who discovered the body. But what motive could he possibly have?
Well, as criminal masterminds go, I have to say you're a bit wanting.
There were no witnesses, you know. All of the evidence is circumstantial.
Of course, my boy. What most fail to realise is that murders are rarely witnessed. If it wasn't for circumstantial evidence, this country would be overrun with madmen.
Doesn't it bother you that sometimes the innocent are convicted?
Now come on, Jenkins. Are any of us truly innocent?
I'd like to think so.
Well, you have the luxury of believing in the good of humanity. You've seen a lot less of it than I.
I didn't do it, you know.
All right, I'll play a little game. Who do you think did it?
I don't know.
Well, you must have some theories.
That's just it. I've got plenty of theories. What I don't have is answers.
Well, what are your thoughts?
Well, let's see. Everyone had an alibi, of course. Sarah was setting the table in the dining room. The Colonel was in the wine cellar getting a bottle of wine. Lady Miranda was in her bedroom lying down. Catherine was taking a shower. And the vicar was in the drawing room here.
Correct so far.
As it turns out, however, everyone had been in the kitchen or near it. It all started when Master Barstow proposed to Cat. Sarah was so distraught by this development, she fled into the kitchen. Master Trevor ran after her. Then they had a terrific row. Meanwhile, the Colonel found himself locked out of the wine cellar, so he came up to the kitchen to sneak a bottle out of there. After he left, Miss Catherine came downstairs and barked out and got the lovers in a rather compromising position. Embarrassed, Trevor sent Sarah out of the kitchen so he could speak alone with Cat. What passed between them then, I can only imagine. All that I know is that Cat went up the service stairs, locking the door behind her. And then there's the mother. I discovered she wasn't even in her room at all, but had probably laid down in the library, where she would have had direct access to the kitchen. Oh, and then there's Graham. Dear sweet Graham. She was meant to be in her own room, but as you know, she has an unpeculiar way of just popping up when least expected.
So, everyone had the opportunity. But who had the motive?
I suppose everyone had a reason to kill him, either out of jealousy or hatred. Everyone but the vicar, it seems.
You mean you don't know?
Know what?
No, I guess you couldn't have known.
I feel you've got me at a disadvantage here, madam.
Tell me, Jenkins, are you aware of Father Timothy's charity towards Master Barstow?
Yes, but I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Think about it, Jenkins. Have you ever known the vicar to share his table with anyone?
Well, now that you mention it, no.
Trevor's his son, Jenkins.
What?
Yes, it was 26 years ago and only a few of us knew about it. Father Timothy had an affair with the late Lady Barstow.
Oh my.
Even Lord Barstow didn't know about it. The lady took the secret to her grave.
But what would drive Father Timothy to kill his own son?
Well, you're the one playing detective, Jenkins. You figure it out.
Yes, but
Good night, Jenkins.
Well, this makes no sense at all. I mean, Trevor may have been an odious creature, but to be killed by his own father? I mean, the vicar, he's a fine, upstanding man. A little dull, perhaps, and much too chatty. But as long as I've known him, no one's ever accused him of... Oh, Graham, if there's any sense in that old grey head, now would be the perfect time to unearth it. At least I have one good friend left in this world.
It's such a lovely day, isn't it, Harold?
Oh, Graham, I'm not your dear departed Harold.
What did you say, Harold?
Yes, Lucinda, it's a lovely day.
Did you know I've always wanted to go to Brighton? Such a glorious view. And smell the honeysuckles. Can you think of a more romantic place for a honeymoon?
I'm sorry, Lucinda, but I'm not feeling particularly romantic at the moment.
Oh, don't be like that, Harold. The train was only a couple of hours late. And we've still got the whole week ahead of us.
You're right, dear girl. You're right. We must make the most of it. After all, the train. Wait a minute. The train. Yes, the train. Now listen, Lucinda, I need you to do me a favor.
Oh, anything, Harold.
I need you to call up the station.
Call up.
Yes, on the telephone.
Telephone?
That gadget on the table over there. I need you to... Oh, for heaven's sakes. Austin. Who in there? I can't with the telephone way over there. Hello? Hello? Operator. Yes, I need the Camerton station. Thank you. Hello? Is this the Camerton station? Hallelujah, I got it. What? No, I'm not drunk. Why do you ask? Now listen, I need to know what time the 5:20 arrived. No, not the train from Worthington, the train from Broughton Cross. What? Really? Yes, I know there was a lot of rain, but I was led to believe it arrived on time. No. Oh, wait a moment. Do you happen to know what time the bridge over the Endeavour went down? No, I need the exact time. What? Really? No, that will be all. Wait a moment. Can you ring the police for me? Oh, bugger.
Well, you're a better detective than I thought, Jenkins.
So you're the one who planted the knife on me. It must have been when you collided with me as I took your suitcases.
Yes.
That was very clever of you.
Oh no, you're the clever one. It's just a shame that no one will ever know of your cleverness.
Please don't do it, Miss Guy. They know I was murdered.
Oh, I doubt that very much. You see, suffocation doesn't leave any marks. They'll just think you died of a heart attack.
Drop your weapon, you vile Dutchman!
Thank heavens.
Give me the gun, Graham.
Don't do it, Lucinda. She's trying to kill me.
Give me the gun.
Well, why are you all tied up, Harold?
She's taking me prisoner, Lucinda. You've got to free me.
Can't you see, Graham? He's the enemy. He's a dirty war spy.
Don't listen to her, Lucinda.
Pull your trigger.
You're not my Harold. My Harold always called me Lulu.
Pull the trigger, Graham.
Listen to the waves, Lulu. Isn't it lovely here? And smell the honeysuckle. Doesn't it smell like heaven?
I can't smell anything.
Now I'm going to kill you, you stupid bedlam.
What's going on here?
She's the murderer, not me.
That's right. I killed Trevor, and I'll kill a lot of you if you don't stand back. You think I'm washed up. You think I'm a hack. But look at me. I've just committed the world's most perfect crime, and I am not going to get caught now. Oh, let me go! Let me go!
You'll get the noose for this, Edwina.
Oh, that's right, there's no such thing as the world's most perfect crime.
I say, Jenkins, do you mind if we borrow your rope?
Not at all, sir.
You'll regret this, all of you.
Oh, shut up.
How did you figure it out, Jenkins?
Well, I got to admit, I was stumped for the longest time. But Gran finally proved to be the key.
Gran.
Yes, she reminded me that not all trains run on time, especially weather like this. I called up the station master and found out that the 5:15 didn't arrive in the village until 5:20.
So,
The bridge over the river collapsed at 5:19.
My boy, that's impossible. I know Edwina thinks a lot of herself, but even she couldn't walk over that water.
Don't you see? She wasn't on the 5:15. She must have come on the 9:45 and snuck into the house this morning.
But how did she get in?
oh, that would be Nigel's fault. He left all the windows open.
Yes, and I had Jenkins close them.
After she snuck in.
But how did she get out again? Miss Catherine, made sure that all the windows were latched.
Catherine checked all the windows but one.
The one in the kitchen.
Precisely. After Miss Corrie murdered Trevor, she climbed out of that window. When she went to inspect the body, she latched it again.
So she was in the house all day.
Yes, she must have hidden herself.
Oh, go on. Where could a big girl like that hide?
Cat, you said when you went up the servants' stairs, you heard a creaking sound in the kitchen below.
Yes, like a cabinet being opened.
Or a dumb waiter.
That's why I couldn't open it. That daft woman had stuffed herself inside.
Edwina?
Why should I tell you anything, you bumbling imbecile?
Why didn't you see the body, Jenkins? Surely you went into the kitchen after Trevor was murdered.
Yes, that's the part I haven't quite figured out.
Wait a minute, you said that you were slicing a lemon.
That's right, by the sink.
But the body was on the other side of the kitchen, or the table would have obscured your view.
That's a relief. I was beginning to think I'd lost my mind.
Don't worry, Jenkins. You'll know when that happens.
I must say, Father, my deepest sympathies on the loss of your... I suppose I shouldn't say...
Say what?
Well, Edwina said that Trevor was your, it's not true at all about you and Lady Barstow.
Myself and Lady Barstow?
Never mind, my apologies.
Well, that's quite all right, but... Well, there's one thing I don't understand, and that is, why would Edwina want to kill Trevor?
Oh, yeah, that's right. She didn't even know him.
Oh, they knew each other. That is, he knew her.
What do you mean?
Have you read her latest book?
Oh, yes, of course, it's the best one yet.
And some people say it's though she's a different writer.
Exactly.
You mean...
She didn't write it. In fact, she hasn't written anything good in years. So when she came across an obscure mystery novel written decades ago, she spoiled the plot. Everything would have worked out fine until Master Barstow found the book in Father Timothy's library.
You mean he was blackmailing her?
That scoundrel tried to stick me for £3 million.
But why did she kill him here? Why not do it in his own home?
I don't know really.
Edwina?
I won't tell.
I'm not afraid to pinch you.
Ow! Right. I needed witnesses. I needed suspects. I wasn't going to stab him. I was going to poison the coffee, knowing that he's the only one who drinks it. When I got here and found you were out of the wretched bean, I had to change my plans.
You're a cruel, heartless woman, Edwina.
And you're a pathetic excuse.
I'm terribly sorry, old boy. If there's anything we can do to make it up to you,
There is actually.
name it.
I think I'd like to take a trip.
Whatever you like. Travel, lodgings, everything.
Thank you, sir.
Can we afford it, Father?
Cheaper than being sued.
I say, where will you go, Jenkins? Paris? Rome? Madrid?
Brighton, I think.
Brighton? Bloody boring Brighton. I'm offering you the world, Jenkins. Do you want to go to Brighton?
Most definitely.
But why?
Because I've never been to Brighton. And I've got a very dear friend who longs to smell the honeysuckle.